Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm just over the moon, super excited to share with you this vanilla cupcake recipe. Vanilla cupcakes for me has been one of those things that I've never found the perfect vanilla cupcake recipe. I've always ended up going back to the cake mixes. The chocolate recipe they're so much easier, I feel like, than vanilla, but has been my journey and I just wanted to share this. So the fact that I'm even sharing a vanilla cupcake recipe with you should mean a lot. I've done recipes in the past where I do believe they do taste good, but as far as good like quality for a business, no. And I think I finally have nailed that now. So I hope you guys try it out. I just want to share because I will be adding it onto my menu now, especially because I do like doing a lot of treat boxes and stuff like that for the kiddos, especially during the holidays. So I know you guys were going to be asking me, so I'm like, before I start getting all the questions, let me put up the recipe before you start seeing it on my Instagram. So the recipe will be linked down below, as far as everything that I use, as far as packaging, will also be down in the description box. So let's go ahead and get started. This recipe really could not get any easier, and the ingredients are so simple and things you probably already have in your kitchen. And I'm sorry, I so regretted adding the milk into this mixture because you couldn't really tell what I had in there, but I did have some egg whites. I also had some sour cream, heavy whipping cream or heavy cream. It's not regular milk. I do suggest using this one, but it's totally optional, whatever you prefer. And then you will also need vanilla. I used to be the type of person that will just eyeball the vanilla, but I really do suggest you to measure it because vanilla could be very overpowering. And back then I would think, oh, more vanilla the better, right? No, it actually doesn't change the flavor for a good matter of fact. But that's just what I suggest. Like I said, I've been trying out several recipes and I've noticed that. So you want to go ahead and add your butter as well in there. I did go ahead and mix the first few ingredients just to get the sour cream incorporated. You are going to see that it start looking a little bit separated, and that is totally normal. It's just because of the sour cream, but it adds a lot of moisture in there without us having to put too much butter, because I'm going to talk about this later on, but basically for the texture of it. So here in my bowl, I did have some all-purpose flour, baking soda, baking powder, and a pinch of salt. You also need sugar, which I realized my batter was so thick, and I'm like, what is going on? Like, this never happens. Like, it should be, more on the runnier side. And I realized I hadn't put my sugar in. So don't add any more milk. Make sure you have the sugar in there, because that's most likely what you're missing, because you really don't need any more added liquid in there. So as you can see, it started looking real thick. I was like, oh no. But that's it. There's no excuses as to, oh my god, it's so hard, because I've tried out other recipes where you literally have to cream butter and sugar together, then add one egg at a time, and then add flour mixture, then a little bit of your little bit of your wet, then a little bit of your dry. So it's like several steps. It's a two bowl recipe. So simple. You can do it by hand. I did it by hand to show you how simple it really is, and you don't need your standing mixer. So that is it. This is the consistency you should get. I've always noticed though that vanilla cupcakes or just batters in general are always on the thicker side than chocolate. I have a recipe that I personally still love using. It's fully by scratch as well, and it's a lot runnier, if that makes any sense to you, all of you. And then you just want to grab your cupcake tins, add your liners. I just had these black, like I literally didn't have any other liners other than my Halloween one, so that's what I ended up using. I do have my handy dandy ice cream scoop. I absolutely love it. I've had it for years. I've used it so much throughout my videos. I know a lot of my videos are in Spanish. Not a lot of them are bilingual, but I do use this for so many reasons, and if you don't have one, then you should get one. They also have a cookie scoop, which is much smaller, and sorry, my daughter was messing around with my tripod, but I feel like you can get even cupcakes with it. You want to preheat your oven to 350, and these should go in for exactly 18 minutes. I've always noticed if you check them at 16-minute mark, they're still not fully set, and don't overbake them because you will dry it out. And that's one thing we don't want. We want a moist cupcake. Sorry if you hate the word moist, but we have to use that in a baking term. Sorry, my voice started cracking. You want to let them completely cooled, and I'm going to start piping with buttercream. And like I said, if you've been following me for several years now, you would know I'd be the person to tell you I hate buttercream, but I think I just hadn't found the perfect recipe and the perfect process for a buttercream, because mighty Lord, this is absolutely delicious. Keep in mind, I'm not the type of person to be licking a spatula with cookie dough or anything on there, but I'd be licking the spatula for this. It's so good. I don't know. I will show the recipe probably in my next video. I'll definitely film it for y'all. It's so good. The consistency, everything about it, but more than anything, the taste is phenomenal. So I here just went ahead and started decorating them. They're just going to be Halloween themed. Personally, my store still don't have any Christmas out. I get super jealous when I see other people already having Christmas stuff, and I'm like, where do you get that? Like, my stores are completely empty still as far as for the baking aisle in Christmas. So we're going to go ahead and do it with this. However, my personal preference, just thinking of the idea of biting into one of these doesn't sound very appetizing, just because of the bigger pearls and, you know, decorations like the little pumpkins that it has. I personally don't like that. I don't know if it's just the me thing, but I feel like many others, like I've said it in the past, like even for your Rice Krispies, do not put these on your cake pops or your strawberries where it's so uncomfortable to bite into. At least I don't like having that two different crunch of textures in there. I prefer Jimmy's little nonpareils, sprinkles that are not too big, but we do got to keep in mind that some decorations that sometimes clients ask do have like those big ones, and I just always let them know ahead of time. So if you don't know anything about me, I did start my business back in San Rafael, California, doing cakes. So that's what I started in. And then when I moved to Petaluma, I got more known for my cheesecakes and dessert tables. So I stopped doing cakes. One, I wasn't really enjoying it as much, and I never wanted to see my job as my job, you know, like I wanted to be like my hobby, something that I love. So as well, when I started getting tired of so many orders because I was overbooking myself, that was on my part, I had to take a pause, especially being pregnant and having all the nausea, like everything. I was like, no, I think it's just time now, and I'm thankful I did. So if you ever need to pause, go ahead and do it. It's best than to be completely out of it and never want to do this again. So here I'm just going to add a little swirl, and this is with the 1M Wilton tip, and then the round one that I use is the 1A. So those were always my staple back then, and this other star one I forget, but also the 2A round one. I'll leave it link down below if you want to purchase them, but it's literally piping tips that you will need either for a border of a cake, like anything, swirls, like just especially that 1M tip. You really cannot go wrong with having it just in your drawer, even if you're not selling right now. But like I said, give this recipe a shot and you're gonna tell me different and add these to your menu. I did for food coloring use Murray color. I do like it. However, they will stain your teeth, especially with the bright red. So I'm still working to find the perfect food coloring, as I do like this one, but I have to admit, like, obviously if I want to do a black, I know it's going to stain my teeth, and I don't like that. So we're still going to be on the works. I will be showing this recipe for Elf on the Shelf. I want to do like a little treat box. to welcome back the Elf on the Shelf. It's very popular here in the United States. So that's why I decided to upload this recipe now, because I know I would get a lot of questions once I uploaded that. So this is the texture of it. This is what I'm obsessed with it. It's danced to the point it's not crumbly, but it's not dry. I don't know how to explain. You would literally have to try it. This is my personal preference. I have a girl here who we did a collaboration for Easter that I absolutely love her cupcakes, but unfortunately she's booked all the time to the point, you know, if I want to do a treat box or something for my business, put a cocoa bomb in there or something, I don't have that accessibility that she will be there for me. So that's why I was like, you know, I need to start at least adding cupcakes. I know I won't go back to doing cakes. I don't enjoy it as much, but doing cupcakes definitely will be back on my menu. I do plan on pricing my cupcakes $30 a dozen for a simple one. Obviously, depending on the whole decoration that they ask for, prices can always increase. But I hope this video is helpful. I hope you try it out. It's so simple with basic ingredients you probably already have in your home. Follow me on Instagram. Send me a message. I try to get back to every single one of you. And I love seeing your creations that you guys do using my recipes or ideas. I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.